everyone, this is the course syllabus video, and I'm going to be going through the syllabus of your course. My name is Mrs. Baselice. We've already met at this point, I'm sure. I am your math teacher, and I really see myself as a tour guide to this mathematical journey you're going to be taking this year. I'm really super excited to be working with you. So here's some information about me you can read, but some things I want to point out. I am a double Gator grad, so all you Gator fans, we're in good graces here. And I've taught for 13 years, and I've taught just about everything from middle school to high school, from pre-algebra all the way up to AP Calculus BC. I did do that for 1 year and taught AB as well for 2 years. I love to talk about instructional technology in the classroom and best practices for teaching mathematics. So I go to conferences and share a lot about the amazing things we do together as student and teacher. And some stuff about me. This is Rosie. That's my daughter. She's 5, going to be 6 in September, and she's in kindergarten at Lake Highland. I used to work for Disney. I love going to Disney. I did wear some costumes that were very, very hot, and I love to learn new things. So what to expect of our class? What does each day look like, and what do you need? All right, so our class is going to have instruction days and workshop days. So let's talk specifically about instruction days. On instruction days, there will always be some form of warm-up on the screen. The first thing you want to do is look up at the screen to see what warm-ups I have for you or any notes I have for you. The warm-ups could be like an SAT problem of the day. There's a lot of algebra in the SAT, a lot of stuff that you probably already know how to do. Maybe something called like a which one doesn't belong or analyzing errors. There's always going to be something to get you moving, and you'll be doing those warm-ups with your groups. Then after warm-up, we'll have an interactive lesson, and you're going to be taking notes on the lessons. I really, really need you to understand that in my class, we take notes in our notebook, pencil, paper, please, and thank you. You'll be doing some practice and discussion after the interactive lesson. If you notice here, discussion, interactive, my class is going to involve a lot of us working together as a team to master this content. So just to reiterate what I said earlier, note-taking is done in your notebooks. You use pencil, you use paper, highlighters, etc. It's very visual, very interactive. Because the iPads are going to be reserved for something else. During our interactive lesson or even during practice, our iPads are going to be used for those practices so that I can see in real time your work and provide you feedback, and so that you can collaborate with your peers. So I did say that our days were either instruction days or workshop days. So here we have workshop days. And workshop days, I'm going to aim for them to be on Thursdays. Naturally, if our schedule is different or the week is different, it might end up being a different day or 2 days. But we really need to make sure we take some time to digest all the material that you have learned during your instruction days. So workshop days start off with a warm-up just like an instruction day. But what you'll do is you're going to cycle through activities or practices or assignments that support the content that we've just learned, or maybe some old skills that you need to kind of like refresh and get really, really strong at so that you can be better in the future. I call that spiral practice. So you'll be spiraling a bit and going back and reviewing not necessarily quote unquote old, but like required skills, the basics, the stuff you really need to know. So on these workshop days, you really need to be focused. It's going to require a lot of collaboration. And if you don't know what collaboration is, or you're not sure what it is, that means that you're going to be working with your groups to complete a task. So you work together to have a successful end goal or end product. And it's going to require a lot of personal responsibility for learning. So you own your learning at that point. You put into it what you take out of it. If you're goofing off or you're not focused, you're not being personally responsible, or you are being responsible. You're being responsible for not learning that day. So workshop days are really, really important. It's the day to really let us gel all the information we've learned. So again, we've got instruction days and we've got workshop days. And the difference is that on a workshop day, you're not learning something new. You're not learning new content. We are taking content we've learned either that week or even in the past, and we're applying and we're practicing and we're getting ready for getting to that point where we master it. So, what else can you expect? Well, you can expect to be assessed every week. That doesn't mean that there's a test every week or that, Miss Baselice is so mean, she makes us take so many tests. It's more of my way of giving you feedback and knowing where you're at and you having that opportunity to show me what you know and what you've learned on those instruction days and what you've practiced on those workshop days. So we're either going to have weekly quizzes, which will usually be on Fridays, or if there is a test, which we all know what tests are, if there is a test, then you're not going to have a quiz that week. I won't assess you twice, but you will be assessed every week in some way, shape, or form. Some are low stakes or no stakes, which means that, the grade doesn't affect you that much overall or not at all. It's more just for me to gather some data about you. And some are high stakes, like your tests or a weekly quiz. All right. So here's another big expectation that's unique to my class. Expect at-home practice. And I try not to call it homework because homework has a very negative connotation, and also because this is practice, not work. It's you're practicing those skills. And my practice is called Brick and Click. And I learned this at a conference a long, long, long time ago, and I've kind of adopted it as a way to symbolize what's done paper pencil textbook versus what's done on the iPad, even though you're still using paper pencil over here. Okay, so let's talk about brick homework. Or I'm sorry, see, I just said homework. Brick practice. The brick part of your at-home practice is usually a set of textbook problems where your answers are given, okay? And your job is to tell me the process. So it's kind of like I gave you the 2 cookies on the Oreo and you're filling it in with the white good stuff. Okay. Your focus is on the process. And in that process, you're also going to be evaluating yourself and analyzing any errors if you've made any. And we'll talk a lot more about this in class, and I'll model this for you as well. But this is just one of your expectations. Okay. These brick assignments will be turned in as well. But again, we will talk more in detail about this in class together. Now, your click assignment still requires the use of paper and pencil because math cannot be done necessarily, cannot always be done mentally. And especially the types of problems that you're going to be doing in this class will require you to show work. But the difference is that the assignments will be coming from an online program that is like reps. So like for those of you who play sports, when you go in the batting cages and you do 100 swings a day, or for those of you that play piano, when you're doing your scales and your reps, these are those reps, right? And the focus here is on mastery. You're trying to master, you're trying to get to the point where no matter what problem is thrown at you, you're able to do it. And in that process, you're also evaluating yourself and analyzing your errors. And again, we'll talk more about this process and how you do this in class. I'll model that for you. Your click assignment can also include, it may not, but it can also include watching a content video like the one you're watching now and answering any questions. Lastly, also some form of click here, but I like to call this a math talk. And every week we're going to have a virtual discussion on higher order thinking questions. So these are questions that require you to maybe analyze a little bit or do a little more than just solve and give an answer. And these will be done online. And you will be discussing with each other. It will be a conversation with each other. And you will have the opportunity to choose which question you'd like to respond to. And the focus here is to make sure that you are really strengthening the skills of constructing arguments in mathematics and talking about math, okay? You get better at math when you could talk about it. I believe that whoever is doing the talking is doing the learning. So the more you talk about mathematics, the better you're going to get at it. And also learning how to critique each other's reasoning. So last but not least, I think on this slide, you're probably looking at the fact that there's no required weekend practice. I'm trying my best to make it a goal to ensure that you have no homework on Fridays and no at-home practice on Fridays so that you can enjoy your weekend. There will always be suggested practice items, and you can, of course, always do those to strengthen your skills, but no required graded practice over the weekend.